Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. Oh wow, what a day. What a day to be alive. What a day to watch Bitcoin soar. I'm excited, even though, I did go down on a short, but I didn't lose much. That's the point. Anyways, I'm here with Inti.
Hello, everyone.
He's here with us. He's looking in the chat room to make sure that you guys are all behaving yourselves. And also, if you guys have any questions, he'll be reading it out for you at the end of the show. We're going to do a little question and answer period. And Inti, let everybody know a little bit about this show.
Yes. As always, it's good to remind you people that this video is for entertainment purposes only and this is not a financial advice. You should always do your own research before putting your hard-earned money on the market. Back to you, sir.
All right, thank you. Wow. Well, as you know, Bitcoin, even though yesterday's show, we were thinking, oh man, this does not look good. Things looks like it was going to roll over. The hourly chart, the 4-hour chart, everything was disaster. But it just turned around on us, and we're going to be talking about that. And also, we're going to talk about how, man, is it great to be alive right now? Even though, the New World Order is marching full full steam ahead. Even though, the 1% has complete control over most people's minds, hearts and minds. Even though our monetary system is unfair, it's a great time to be alive. Right, and we're going to talk about why that is. But before we do that, we're going to talk about do a little bit of TA on the market, because man, isn't this great? Wow, Bitcoin. I love this particular GIF here, man. It's just funny. Just look at that, the 100x log. Oh man, yeah. Gotta love it. Anyways, let's head over to the charts of the day. So what we have here is Bitcoin was I've had this trend line. I mean, I've even been watching my videos. I had this trend line. It was dashed before, and I made it solid because you could see that it's it touched it so many times, even though it broke down twice through the trend line, and I had it dash until finally it was okay, it's bouncing like a bouncing ball off of the other side of the trend line. And normally when that happens, right, it's a break to the other side, but nope. Nope, it just went nope. And yeah, I think this is definite FOMO candle here, right? We're going to see a lot more FOMO candle days in the next coming days. Yeah, it's pretty deadly to FOMO in here, but I mean, the everything was pointing down, and yet the market decided, the people just jumped in on this and bought whatever they could. Whenever the sellers came in, I mean, I was watching this. If we go down to the lower time frames, it was unbelievable. This was oh yeah, buyers started coming in, they were FOMOing in, and sellers went nope, and the buyers were yep. And it was unbelievable. They kept doing it over and over again, as you can see, right? Sellers would come in and buyers would go nope. We're going higher, right? We're going higher. So it's great, man. I'm pretty impressed with this. I can't believe that they pushed, because this was this move right here was definite move down. This looked like a definite move down, but once it just failed, it was okay. The bears were okay, we're done. Surrender. Surrender. And that was it. And the rest is history. We're up over $300 here, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We are going higher, right? We're going higher, plain and simple. The bears are scared. They're running scared, right? And they should be. There's a lot of dollars out the side, ready to jump in, and they're going to print more. There's going to be a lot more dollars coming in, and isn't a whole lot of bitcoins for you those short sellers to sell. I'm drinking black coffee, no milk, no sugar. There's no point in drinking anything else, drinking it with anything else. I mean, unless you're in Canada and you're having a Tim Hortons, then it's double. Trust me, that is like crack cocaine. Oh my God. Oh, wow. So, yeah, so we are going higher. And if we wanted to trade this higher, we'd have to look for some sort of trading strategy to do so. You don't want to just jump in willy-nilly or else you're going to get hurt. And making sure that, of course, that we're taking the proper risks. We should wait for some sort of consolidation that we had over here before we actually jump in. I would say that the 15-minute, it's already gone. It's been overextended a little bit, so we have to see some sort of consolidation at this level here. An AB equals CD is probably what we should look for in order to decide where this is going to go. I would say I'm trying to figure out where we'd start this AB equals CD, because you could start it on any of the lows here. And I think this would probably be the best because it looks like it's in the pot, the point of control. So I'm going to take that little bottom wick and take it all the way up here. Well, you know what? I could find out if it is in the point of control by just turning on the VPVR. There we go. Yes, it is. There you go. Just like I thought. I didn't have to turn it on. Like, really? Alrighty. So now that we have that, we have to wait for more information, right? We have to wait for more candles, and we don't know how this is going to draw out, right? So you have to wait, and you have to be patient, right? When there's no trade, you don't take a trade, right? Right now, there's no trade. So we have to wait and see what gets drawn out. And if something does get drawn out, what we do is we're going to take this and clone it. And clone. And then, if it just comes back down, let's just say it came back down here to 38.2 approximately. That's eyeballing in 38.2, but let's see if I got that right.
So
nope, close enough, but halfway there. There we go. So let's just say it came back to the 38.2. Right? So what you'd say is, okay, well, at 38.2, moving up to here, this is the AB equals CD. I would, what I would do is I would actually, because this is a breakout trade. Can we call this a breakout trade? Not really. You could do it from here to there. That would be, this would be considered the breakout trade. So this right there on my trading strategy. So you'd have to buy it at this level. Wow. There's another breakout trade right here. Oh, wow. So we can take a shorter AB equals CD at this level too. Okay. Wow. Nice. I like that. So it all depends on how you want to trade this. But look at that. I think we might get a chance to get in again at this level because there's a nice clear W on the 15-minute at this level here. Market likes to trace back to the W's, the last W's at the top of the last W's, just to shake out the weak hands, and then we can go higher. So yeah, I would say probably above that wick is where you'd probably want to get in and take this thing higher. Is where I'm thinking what the market might do. It doesn't mean it has to do that. It might do that. Right, and so that's the key thing you need to understand when you're trading, right? You can't tell the market what to do. You You could only wait for it to. You could only do an estimate of what it might do, and then trade with it. So, because the market loves to come back to the 38.2, this is called my continuation trade, and that's where I would be playing from a position of strength, right? Of course, you can take the this. You enter here. Your stop loss would be like just above that wick. The reason why you want to do it just above that wick, and so this makes this area the correct one to go with, and you could take it all the way to look the 61.8, right? As where you'd go. Okay, you know what? I'm wrong. I'm out, right? And there always has to be a when you're doing with leverage trading, there always has to be a stop loss where you go. Okay, I'm going to walk away. And I'm only going to lose 5% of my money, even though this says 1%. That means 1% of the total amount that you bet. 1.5%, sorry, 1.44. But you could always adjust it, how much you're spending, how much you're betting, so that you only lose 5% of your stash at every single time. And if you want to learn how to do that, right, you have to join my Pandora's trading group. And I would talk about exactly how to do that and how to not lose money whilst doing leverage trading. And even if you were to trade and have 20 losing trades in a row, you would not lose. You would not be out of the game. You would not be wrecked. But I've taught that in the last show, and that you'll have access if you join our group, our Pandora's Wallet group. Right, and prices have gone up, and you have a limited time to get permanent access to that group. Only 2 more days left, right? And you can be a part of that group. And there's we did a video on the weekend, and you can see that video, and I explained how to not get wrecked. And let's see, where's that video? Okay, it's probably a little ways back. There it is. This was a private video done for a private live stream video done for the group. It got cut off halfway, like about an hour and a half into it, because power failure here. Somebody ran into a lamp post on the street, and then I couldn't continue with the stream. But yeah, join this group. Now I want to welcome 35 new members. We haven't gotten to adding you yet, but we're going to welcome those 35 new members shortly, and we're going to be adding them. We haven't had a process of adding people into the group, but we will be adding it for the end of this month for sure. So the first, it will be up and running, and we'll be able to. So once you enter your Telegram username, you'll automatically be added to the group, assuming that you do not have certain privacy settings set up on Telegram, preventing our system from automatically adding you to the group. Okay.
So I have some stuff to say. First of all, it's happened 12 minutes so far, and we already have 740 viewers. So thank you guys. You know what I say? If you want to keep supporting Davinci, please smash like button. Yes. It's highly appreciated.
And also hit the subscribe button. I'd like to get up to 100,000 subscribers. Oh man, if I get there and get that award, I think if I don't sell this house, I'm going to turn my pool table area into a studio, because I don't play pool that much. Inti will not like that, right?
No. I really like playing pool.
I know, exactly.
I have a couple of things to say. For example, Diego Arce has been giving up some donation to the stream. Thank you very much, sir. He was saying something about that you would paint your face yellow if price reaches 8K. Did you ever say that?
Yeah, I said that if if it did that, basically did a specific trade, a specific movement, right? And it didn't do the exact movement that I was thinking, and that's why I'm not painting my face.
Yeah, glad you don't. and for last, but not less important, this is a super chat from Ronnie D regarding the TA, and asked, what are the chances for a pullback now?
What are the chances of a pullback? It's low, because if we take a look at the charts, right, what's happening here on the daily time frame is that we are pulling away, right? From this particular, we've already broken above the 200-day moving average, right? And we're pulling away from this trend line. So when we do something like that, what tends to happen is a lot of people start to FOMO in, especially when we have $6 billion sitting in the exchanges ready to be deployed. A lot of that money is weak hand money, meaning money that just like doesn't know what's going on in the market, and all they know is that there's a lot of money being printed, and they're holding it, and it's losing value, and it's going to lose value, and so they are going to be buying any dip that comes into this movement. Anything that dips down, they will be buying it. So you need to be able to react to that and trade that, because this is FOMO time basically, right? This was fear. This was the fear cycle, and this is the greed cycle. Now we are gonna do the opposite of this pretty much, right? We're gonna go a lot higher. You know that's coming, because you can see with all the cash on the sidelines, right? Finally, volume is broken higher, even though it didn't look so good before. It just took off, and this yellow candle, right? This is not going to be the only yellow daily candle. I can tell you that for sure, right? This is like this is the amount of pressure that's going to be built up. In fact, we might even go. I wouldn't be surprised if we go down to the shorter time frame. You can see what's called the Three Musketeers, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if we see these show up on a daily kind of time frames. The amount of push, right? That this indicates. Now, this doesn't work all the time. These indicators do not work all the time, but I think we might see them on the daily, and that indicates that, hey, the market's got a lot of FOMO push to go. So, and you can see that's what's saying here on the hourly. Yeah, I'm going higher. I'm pushing this thing higher. And once you see the three of these, it goes and it moves fast. Right? Again, this doesn't always work, but when it does, man, oof, you can see some fireworks, and we're going to see fireworks, and we're going to probably see this show up on the daily as well. And I think we're going to come all the way up to 9,000. And this time, you know what? I really think, right? If we go to the daily, right, and we take a look at, let's just see here. Do I have Coinergy up? No. I wonder why. Okay, I'm going to bring that up. Just I have a chart on there. I think it's on here that I want to show you guys. It's the overall time frame. Let's see if it's okay. Cool. There we go. Skip. Hide. Oh crap. Okay. Again. Load. Right, and are we gonna load? Yeah, big picture. Okay, so I have this theory that it's gonna come inside this area and bounce around. But what I'm thinking now, with the amount of FOMO, right, that's come in, the bump and run, we might break this area.
Davinci?
Yes.
Don't forget to say the levels, because some people cannot see the numbers.
Okay, so the levels, we might break the 8,000. We are right now at the 8,150 level. What's another thing that's interesting, right? I'm sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. Is that this is like the futures is a little bit higher than the actual spot prices. So that's also another indicator that prices people are FOMOing into to Bitcoin. So what I'm thinking here, instead of the 9,500 level and then rolling down from the 9,500 level down to the 8,500, we might not do that. We might just go, yeah, screw it. And the worst thing, the crazy thing is, what we might end up doing, that would be crazy if we did that. I mean, absolutely insane. we might end up creating a W. Oops. And let me just change the color to yellow so you can see that. And I'm going to delete that one. So what we might end up doing in a crazy, in this crazy world, and this is weekly, just so you know, we might end up doing what's a nice W right up here and breaking the 14,000. Breaking the 14,000 right here. Just go straight up with the FOMO. Might. There's no guarantees on this. I'm getting that feeling. That's my personal opinion, right? There's no guarantees on that, but that's the amount of pressure, of buying pressure that we're getting. I'm getting that feeling that, hey, we're going to break here and create that W. Once we do break that level and we close above that, I think we'll probably roll back down and retest this level here. Probably. Let's see what happens, right? That would be incredible. That'd be the only W, the weekly W we have seen, right? If that happens. Because there's no W here. There's no W here. There's no W here on the weekly time frame. A break of that would make the first weekly W. And it's a very wide one, too. And you know what they say about W's, man. It's especially on a weekly time frame. That's huge news. That would be absolutely fantastic. if Bitcoin did that. But you know what? That's a speculation, to be honest. But it's looking good. It's looking good with the futures. Now that we're above the EMA ribbon and way above the 13 EMA on the futures, I don't see any reason why we don't close this gap. None whatsoever. All right. With that said, man, you know what? I want to get back to the point of, it's a great time to be alive, right? We have all this technology. I mean, who would have thought that? Growing up, I never wanted to be on television. I was like, oh my God, I never want to do that. That's horrible. That's scary. I want to be a programmer and just, sit in front of my computer and make things, right? And that's pretty much what I did through the 80s, right? And I would have never guessed that I would be here talking to, well, how many people do we have in our group here right now watching the show? Currently, 900 viewers. And letting you know right now, it's a great time to be alive. Right? Yeah, there's a lot of problems in the world, but we have a lot of choices now. We can learn what is really going on, right? And not be afraid of it anymore. We can learn about the pandemic, right? We can learn what to do, what not to do, right? We can figure it out, right? Yeah, there's a lot of misinformation out there, right? But we could take our time, find somebody that does have the right information, and analyze it. We can even back check it and make sure that it's correct. Right? We have all that power right now. We have the power to protect ourselves from the printing presses going brrr. We have it all. And we have the ability to learn about it. That's just awesome. Yeah, they're trying to shut us down. Yes, evil will always try to take over. Always. And because that's the nature of evil, right? But the thing is, right, what they are so scared of is this. And let me show you. What the rest of the government and stuff like that, if you've ever seen this movie, right, I can't play it. You know what? I'm not going to play it actually because you know what? With the copyright strikes that they keep throwing at me and us crypto YouTubers, I don't want to deal with that. So I have that link in the description below. But basically, right? You remember this movie where the ants versus the grasshoppers? Well, the grasshoppers are basically government and the corporations, and so those people, right? They know that if we decide to go, yeah, screw you, we're not going to listen to what you have to say. There's nothing they can do about it, right? And they've actually the mayor of New York, he actually said that and cut it out. It's cut out from every single news feed, right? That recording. If you were to listen to his speech, right? Because it was an hour-long speech, and he said that, you know what, if people wanted to ignore us, they could, and there's nothing we can do about it. And the powers that be, they freaked out about that. They freaked out. They said, "Why did you say that? That's insane." They're right. You're right about it, but you don't want to let them know. And so they went buck wild. And every single recording on the internet, it's been cut when he said that statement, that if all the people in New York and all the people in general just did whatever they wanted, there's nothing government could do. That's what freaks them out. And so, you know what? That's a great. That is an excellent thing, and I am so happy to be alive, because now I don't have to worry about. You know what? I always thought that I'd have to go hide out in a cave or something like that, because humanity would never figure it out. But no, we have this internet. We have YouTube. We have BitTube, BitChute. We have library. It doesn't matter what they do; they're finished, and we are going to move forward as a species into incredible time, and I'm so happy to be alive. Right. All right. Well, with that said, I'd like to move on to talking about answering questions from all you guys, actually. And what kind of questions do you have for me today?
Okay, so Somi asked, how does inflation seep into an economy if the government just prints its debt to a foreign country, pays it off, but doesn't tell its own citizens about it?
Okay, what happens is when you what are currencies? Right, the currency notes. Right, I don't have any on me. I wish I had some. Right, it's just a piece of paper. Right, it's a IOU nothing really. Right, and when somebody else gets it, right, what do they want to do with that piece of paper? Right, doesn't matter whether it's a government, it's an individual, or a corporation. What do they want to do with that piece of paper? Well, there's only two real things you can do with that piece of paper. You can either A, save it, or B, spend it, right? So, if you know that, well, if I A, save it, right? If I do the A part and I save it, they're going to just continue printing more, right? And giving it to somebody else. And that other person might realize that that's a bad idea and start spending it, right? And so if somebody spends it before you spend it, then you're going to lose. And so that means, right, what happens is when they print off the money, give it to another government or corporation, that corporation really says, maybe I should go buy something in that country. Buy something real, something tangible. And so what they do is they go out and buy. They can't go and buy everything of one particular asset. Like say they can't go and buy real estate, or all the real estate will go up. They can't buy only commodities, or all the commodities will go up, and then they won't get most of the value out of it. So what they do is they tend to, because they have access to a lot of resources, is they buy up a large spread of different basket of items from that country. that they got that paper money from, and causes prices to increase. Now, of course, that country all knows that the government that printed the money knows that's going to happen, so they do all kinds of currency controls and laws in order to try to slow that down. But you know the human spirit is unstoppable. They will always find a way, and that's what they tend to do. I remember that it used to be a time where you would be able to deposit a Canadian American check, a Canadian check, right? You could write a Canadian check, right, and deposit, or any check from any country, and deposit in a U.S. bank in order to buy whatever you wanted to, right? What that's effectively doing, right, when you do that, is that you're not giving them Canadian dollars, right, or whatever currency that you're giving to the United States bank. What's happening is that they're going to your bank. They're taking and internally that bank is taking your local currency, going to the central bank, which stores the dollars, converting it to dollars, and sending it to the bank in the United States. So basically, your local country, which saves some dollars, right, as a backup, is spending those dollars finally in the United States. Not quite yet, of course, because you've only just moved it to the U.S. And so once it's there in the U.S., you can now go ahead and buy some real tangible goods. Well, they cut that off. I remember the day they cut that off. Not only I had a check bounce and ended up having to pay a bunch of fees, but a lot of local businesses across Canada had the exact same thing. They didn't tell anybody. They just went and cut it right off. Nope. You can't deposit a check from any foreign country at all. These are the means. They did this like years ago. I mean, back in 2003, 2002, or something like that. This was years ago. And the reason why they did that, of course, is so that you when you know what's coming, right? And we've talked about that in the last episode. What happens is the government tends to plan ahead, right? So they institute laws so that they can basically keep us entrapped in their system. And that's what they've done. And that's what they're doing. And that's what the United States government will do once the inflation starts to pick up. They will prevent people from basically purchasing goods and services as best as they can in the United States, causing the inflation. But that will not work out, of course. All right, next question.
All right. So, okay, this is a simple one. This is a super chat from Maurice Tyrell. Thank you for your support. Ask, what is your Ethereum target?
What is my Ethereum target? Well,
yeah.
I really Ethereum. I think about 250 is where we're going to see Ethereum hit if it isn't already there. Let me bring up a chart of Ethereum and then take a look for sure. That's where I see Ethereum. It's 250. Sounds a bit low. So let me just bring up. Okay, hang on. Let me just switch to my view here. And is this Ethereum? Yes. So now here's the thing. I think Ethereum. This is coming to the what's it called? The 61.8 here. I really don't think this is the Mountain Man 61.8 will hold. I think it might blow through the 61.8 and have some trouble with the 78.6. That's the general. Like this would be one of my what's it called? It says Hail Mary trades, basically. So if I were to trade this on a short, I would Hail Mary this trade on 78.6 short down. Now, why do I call it a Hail Mary trade? Because the market tends to come to the 78.6 really fast, really hard, and you'd be like, oh my God, Hail Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners. From now to the time. So you'll be like so scared out of your mind in the trade that it's really hard to take. So, and I think that's would be your short trade right here around the 250 level, yeah. So you'd have to, if you were to take that short trade, and I don't think I am going to. I'm going to consider it for a little bit more before I actually do so, because there's just so much FOMO in the air. Because usually you're trying to take a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, and what does that do? That brings us all the way back down to the 5,700. Not out of the question. It's just that let's see here. If we were to do a fib, can we say that's let's just estimate right there. It's not out of the question. It's a 61.8 ping pong, right? But yeah, it's hard for a lot of people to see. But then again, right? We are going through the halving, and on the other side of the halving, I think we're going to see a lot of rockiness. Now, of course, anything can happen. Just like I said in the beginning of the show, I really feel that. Bitcoin was going to explode, and if that's the case, this Hail Mary trade is probably a bad idea, colossally bad idea. But that's my opinion, and opinions are a dime a dozen, and they're actually meaningless. What I should do, that is my personal opinion. What I should do when I trade is stick with the charts, and whatever the charts tell me. If things are if momentum is slowing down into that area, I should take that trade and be done with it. And I will probably do exactly that. I'll ignore my gut and listen to what the chart says. All right, next question.
All right, this gentleman, Paul Wong, has been saying that no one talks about how all crypto is tied to fiat. What are your takes on this, Davinci?
No, it's not. Crypto is not tied to fiat. Your mind is tied to fiat, right? That's what the problem is. So, for example, you could easily just go, okay, well, I want to see what the price of gold, what the price of Bitcoin is to gold. And if you take yourself, because fiat, what it does is it fogs the value of things, right? Because of the fact that it bids up prices in one area, right, as the money goes into that one area, like housing or stocks or stuff like that. And then once that goes into a massive bubble, the market tries to correct itself. And so because of that, right, you always view things in fiat, right, and because you're trying to like catch the next big bubble and try to make some money off of that next big bubble. And that, if you look at things differently, if you look at things, like for example, if you take a look at the video of, let's just see here, wealth cycles from Mike Maloney. This video here, this is an excellent video explaining exactly how to stop looking at your wealth in dollar terms and start looking at things in cycles of value, overvalued, undervalued, because that's exactly how the market goes. Whether it's gold, whether it's silver, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's commodities, right? You cannot, if you can, of course, you can stay in one particular asset, right, all your life. Right, but what will happen is that asset no matter what it is, it will cause you to lose or not even gain over time. And so if you take a look at the fact that these things move in cycle waves over time, right, of overvalued, undervalues, is what you need to learn how to do is then convert from one asset to another, and in order to build true wealth over time. And if you take a look at this video, and I'm gonna add the link in the description below, right? I'm gonna do that right now. Oops, I did not switch screens. Sorry. Take a look at this video, right? It will explain the wealth cycles to you, and how. Now, you don't have to hit the exact tops. You don't have to hit the exact bottoms. Most of these wealth cycles happen over a large period of time. For example, I remember after the what's it called, the tsunami in Japan. And shortly afterwards, uranium just tanked, just completely crashed for quite some time. And I remember when it actually bottomed, and I was thinking, man, if I could trust the financial system, right, I would buy uranium. Because it took a while to get to the bottom, but because it was going through its cycle, because it was cycling from a high valuation down to a low valuation. And I realized it was at a lower valuation. And that's where learning how to trade actually comes into to helping you figure out when something is undervalued and when something is overvalued, at the very least. So I really think it's a good idea for you guys to all learn how to trade, and in order to help identify, at least early enough, when something is undervalued. And here I'm just pasting in that video, wealth cycles, into the link in the description below, because you know what, I hate it when I watch a video and they don't have the links to the information that they provide in the description. So I'm adding that. So if you do that, right, if you learn how to trade, you will have tremendous advantage over the average person. So even if you don't do day trading when you learn how to trade, you can still have great use this in your everyday life forever. So if you want to do that, right, I would suggest you learn how to trade from where I learned how to trade, which is at therationalinvestor.davincej15.com, right, to get there. And you can get, if you follow that link, that will take you to this website. And on when you sign up and you pay for a course, the first year course, you'll get a $50 discount from my link. So please, if you're interested, they're going to start the first year courses in May, and check it out, see if you're interested. All right, so next question.
So this was a special. This one is from Adam Schmalter. He said, I just wanted to say thank you for everything you did for the community. You helped me very much. Muchas gracias.
De nada.
Thank you, sir. This is from Suher Natbi, and he said, hey champ, do you think we will retrace first or 9K? It was a super chat, by the way.
We could retrace a little bit. So I'm pointing out that we could do a 38.2 pullback from certain levels. But yeah, if you go back and watch the video, you can see that I did mention that there would be a little bit of retrace, but not much, and because the buyers are in full force. All right, next question.
All right, this is the last super chat This is from Tyler Goods, and he asked, planning on getting some hex? It went up 50x in 100 days.
Okay, so hex went up 50x in 100 days. I really have to see this. Really?
I don't know.
I can't
Let's
believe
check it
this. I you know, every time I look for hex, I can't find it on the in the ticker symbol. Is it hex? Is the tinker symbol, right?
Yes, it should be.
So when I look for it to try to pull it up on a chart, I can't, and that gives me an indication of what it really is, right? If I can't do that, then something's not right. It's not an honest product, right? So I'm not going to, you know what? I'm not even going to bother looking, right? Because if I tried pulling it up several times on a chart and I can't. So something's not right. All right. So I'm going to just leave it at that. Next question.
This one, and I'm sorry if I pronounce the name badly, I'm so bad with names. This one from Mergo Yahia asks, do you think what happened last night in Lebanon with people burning banks, this will happen in the European Union or America?
I don't think in America as much, but maybe in certain countries in the European Union. But yeah, I think it will be a lot less. It'll be a lot less subdued than it is in Lebanon. I really think. But you will be either you'll lose money through bail-ins where the banks just close and take your money, or they're going to inflate. Those are the only two options because that's where we're at right now. They need your money. They need it one way or another. They either need it through inflation or they need it directly by taking it. So by buying Bitcoin, by buying gold, by buying silver, you're protecting yourself from that. You could also take the cash out and put it in a safe. Either way, you have to walk away from banks right now because they are coming to get you, right? So that's the if, and there's no if, ands, or buts about that. And if you don't agree, that's fine. I'm okay with people not agreeing with what I've just said. That's fine, right? I think that we should not all agree on any particular subject, and you should make your own choices, and we'll see what happens. What the end results are. You will learn from those choices. So, for example, if you decide, you know what, Davinci, you're just crazy, you're insane. That's not going to happen. They're not going to take my money. I trust the banks. Good, you do that. Now, if, for example, you're right, and the banks take care of you, and you actually make more money, than not lose money, the rest of us will lose money, and you will be rewarded. Now, can you see a picture where that happens? Can you picture in your mind where you trust a bank, and that trust is rewarded with more wealth?
Quedó claro. Is it clear? Alright,
Okay. Yes. All right, next question.
Alright. So this one is from Moro, and since you talk about the rational investor, this is really important. Do you look at the fundamentals of a project or only the technical analysis?
I started doing fundamental analysis when I first learned how to trade, and trying to connect the two. But what happens when I do that is that fundamental analysis plays with your emotions, right? When you look at the fundamentals of Bitcoin, right? If you were to read the Seyfedon, I'm gonna mess up the guy's name, but the author who wrote the Bitcoin Standard, you read that book, right? And you've never purchased Bitcoin yet, and after you read that book, the first thing you want to do is run, not walk, and buy Bitcoin. Because that has fundamental analysis information that will drive you insane to go, oh my God, what am I doing? I gotta get a, I gotta go buy, I gotta go buy. And that's generally what happens when you look at the fundamentals of an asset. And so it helps. Yes, Seyfadan Seyfadan Amus. Yes, that's his name. I just butchered it, I'm sure. But anyways, I I read that after I read that book. That's exactly what I felt like doing. But I was like, dude, you already have Bitcoin. But that's exactly what I mean. I was like, and because of that, because we're emotional creatures, and I'm a very emotional person, right? Um, it's hard to look at fundamental analysis and not make a rash decision, right? It ends up you end up seeing the market going up and buying the highs one instead of buying the lows, and that's because and that's all due to the fundamental analysis, looking at fundamentals, and then also does the opposite, of course, when you see the fundamentals change in a negative way. So and that's just as bad as well. So I don't like looking at fundamentals all that much. I like to basically just look at the technical analysis, because the fundamentals, the technical analysis will reveal the fundamental behavior of any particular asset. All right, there's one more super chat, and then we'll call it a day.
Okay. So this is from Jason Works, and he asked, do you think it will be good to cash out of crypto on this next cycle high to buy back into the next low, or is it the end of fiat?
Yeah, I think that would be too dangerous. This is why it's. I really think it's the end of fiat, and so I think that people should go. I always talk about that people should go into gold and find some sort of gold-backed crypto that we can move into. And thank you, people, for all the likes, man. There's 339 likes. Thank you very much. Massive.
970 people watching.
Yes. Thank you. Anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide all my subscribers access to what I'm going to be doing at the next cycle high, because I mean, as you know, I called the last one, right? I not only did I call the last high of Bitcoin, I also called the high of the altcoins, and I sold all of my altcoins, right, at the high. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Trust me, it was so hard, right? Because when things are just moving up so fast, you're like, man, I'm selling, and you're like, this is crazy. It's gonna go higher. That's how you're gonna feel, right? Once you realize where the tops are, mentally, right? Mentally, you'll know where the tops are once you learn how to trade. But emotionally, you'll feel something completely different, right? And you just have to just push through, because you know what is correct, because you mentally know what's correct, right? Not emotionally. And so what I'm going to do is provide my subscriber base of Pandora's Wallet access to that information when I just see that a crypto, when I see the tops of the altcoin market, the tops of the Bitcoin market, and where they're going to convert to, because they're not going to be converting into to fiat again. It's just not going to happen, because what's going to happen, what I see happening is that gold will be overpriced. Will be a price that will not will be overpriced. Sorry, gold will be the base metric of everything else that that you measure everything else in. So that's the key thing you need to remember, is to measure things in something that's equal to the other asset that you're measuring in. And what's the best other equal is to Bitcoin is gold, basically. So and also I'm going to also be measuring against real assets, like things you use every day, like food, clothing, housing, and so forth, rent, and all that kind of stuff, so that we could determine that things have gone too far, fast, and we need to get out. And then we're going to move it into an undervalued asset so that we can build our wealth over time. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. We got up to like 950 viewers. That's incredible. I'm very appreciative of all the viewers and everyone that's here today. And I want to end off by saying that if you want to join my group, right, you can do so, right, and you'll be a permanent member. This is not coming back. I'm never ever going to give anybody permanent access ever again. And also, all of you people that's purchased in the last year, since I've been running the Davinci codes and selling Pandora's wallet, you'll be getting extra bonuses and stuff like that over and above anyone else that joins the group, because I consider you guys the early adopters of my software and my all my businesses and so forth. So I will be providing appreciative gifts over time. So you could do so. You have 2 days to do so. So just to get on that if you're interested in that. And thank you very much, everyone, for watching. If you haven't seen the videos popping up here and here, right? Please check them out. All right. Thank you for watching, and goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, people. Cheers.
Cheers.